Who is the most loved brawler in Brawl Stars as voted by you, the community? I put out a poll, and after 2 days, 16,000 of you voted, and these are the results. Now, for each one of these brawlers, you're going to be seeing their place that they finished in, the total amount of votes that they got, as well as their ranking change from last year. And last year, you guys voted Pam as dead last, and it doesn't change this year, as with only 27 total votes out of 16,000, Pam comes in dead last. And the brawler right above her is another one that is actually really good in the game, but you guys don't seem to like very much, or at least not as your favorite brawler, and that would be Meg, falling 8 spots down to number 79. At number 78 is a brawler that has fallen 24 spots from last year, and that is Lola with only 51 votes. I don't know what happened with Lola from last year, but clearly your affections have went elsewhere. The 3 brawlers above Lola are also usually near the very bottom. We have Rosa coming in at 77. At number 76, we have Ruffs, and then at number 75 is a brawler that I honestly think that is actually pretty fun to play, but you guys clearly disagree with me. As always, she is very low, and that would be Penny at number 75. Now, traditionally, assassin brawlers do very well on these polls because they're very fun to play, and a lot of people like them. And also, new brawlers usually do very well. However, coming in at number 74 is a brand new assassin brawler, yet you guys do not like her, or at least not very much, and that is Lily. I don't know what happened with Lily. Supercell missed the mark on this somehow because not very many people like her, with only 56 total votes as your favorite brawler. Let's be real, she's just too slow to play. Coming in at number 73, falling 6 spots, is Jackie, and right above her, taking a big tumble from 44 last year to 72nd this year, and that is B. The baby making machine Eve comes in at number 71, and right above her is a thrower that also is usually not very liked and also not that great in the game right now, and that is Barley. However, another thrower that was considerably higher last year, now she isn't a new brawler anymore, and that is Willow, coming in at number 69. And speaking of falling in the rankings, we have Mr. P. Last year, he was number 50. This year, he is number 68. I actually kind of like playing Mr. P, and he's actually a pretty good brawler, but I can see how he's a little bit boring to a lot of people, so I get it. But in number 67th place is Gale, which is pretty similar to what he was last year. But coming in number 66 is Frank, and last year he was the exact same ranking. I mean, you guys don't love him a lot, but at least you're consistent on your not loving him. That's probably not very good either. Sorry, Frank. And with 86 votes, falling 12 spots from last year, we have Bonnie, who I think is pretty fun to play at least half the time. The other half is pretty boring, I grant you that. But the biggest drop this year for any brawler comes in at number 64. Last year, she was number 19, so falling 45 spots is Maisie. She's still a good brawler. I don't know what happened to make Maisie fall out of favor with you all, but 64th spot, Maisie. Just above her in 63rd is Pearl with 89 first place votes. Last year, she was 61st, but we did get some new brawlers in, so technically she fell 2 spots, but really she kind of gained a little bit. And coming in at number 62 are the 90 people who really love to hold down one button because they voted for Amber, falling from 49th from last year. Coming in at number 61 is another brawler who took a large drop. Last year, he was number 36. This year is 61, and that is Chuck. Last time he was a new brawler, though, but I still think that he's really fun. He's really kind of only good in Heist, so I guess that really limits his appeal, but he's still a fun brawler. Got a good, cool character. Now, Maisie fell 45 spots, but the brawler who fell 39 spots, also a massive tumble, would be Lou, coming in at number 60. However, last time, he had just gotten his hypercharge, and he was incredibly strong. He's still a good brawler, but he's not quite as OP as he was last time. In number 59th place, another brawler who is usually at the bottom is Bull. However, right above him is another assassin brawler who wasn't ranked last year because he's a new brawler to this list, and that would be Miko, only getting 104 total votes, which is a little surprising. I think that he's a fun brawler to play. However, his ammo, once you're out of it, it's brutal to play him then. So I get it, but he only comes in at number 58th, which is extremely low for an assassin. I mean, it's not Lily low, but still pretty bad. Now, last year in number 57th place, we had Grom. However, this year in 57th place, we have Grom. He is still right in the same exact spot. But right above Grom is a brawler that last year came in 27th. This year, 56th, and that is Sam. I guess you guys got tired of just like running forward nonstop spamming a button. But I get it, Sam can be pretty fun, just you guys have moved on to a different brawler. I don't know who that is, but it's not Sam anymore. And finally, we have some brawlers that are moving up in the rankings. Last year, 59th. This year, 55. It's not a huge jump, but Gus is happy to see that he's moved up a few spots. And right above him is a brand new brawler that is a long-range sharpshooter and is exceedingly strong, like one of the best brawlers in the game right now. However, not number one in your hearts, and that is Angelo, coming in at number 54. Right above him, we have Tara, who dropped from 34th from last year, and above her is Doug, who actually moves up in the rankings. He was 63rd last year. This year, he is 52nd, so moves up 11 spots. Good job, Doug. I don't know what changed, but coming in at 51st place is probably the strongest brawlers who have ever been introduced into the game, and were completely and utterly broken for like 2 weeks. He was the most annoying brawler, but he's not the most loved, and that is Larry and Lori. However, if this were taken back when they were first released, I bet you a lot more people would have voted for them because you were basically getting free trophies, and what's not to love about that? Now, some of these votes have been really close. However, none closer than our next 3 brawlers, who all got the same exact number of votes. At 118 votes each, we have Ems, Sprout, and Bo. Now, Bo actually moved up 10 spots, while Sprout and Ems both fell. Edging them out with one more vote than them in number 47th spot is Nita, who always finds herself right in the middle, and honestly, that's probably a good spot for her, although she did move up like 5 spots. Maybe that's due to her hypercharge, I'm not sure, but Nita's right in the middle, and that's a good spot for her. Coming in at number 46 spot, we have... That was more like a turkey than Gene, but that was supposed to be Gene. In a tie for 44th place, we have Buster and RT. Now, Buster actually fell quite a few spots, although RT stayed about the same. Now, normally Shelly is a brawler who's right in the middle of the pack, or a little bit lower, but last year she climbed up to number 20 overall thanks to a hypercharge and a really good buff. And apparently last year it wasn't love, it was infatuation, and that's worn off because Shelly finds herself at number 43 this year. Just above her, a brawler that I do not like to play and has climbed 4 spots since last year is Byron. He's beaten out by the next 2 brawlers who are in a dead tie for 40th spot with Charlie and Nani. Edging them out just by 1 single vote, we have Squeak, who was 16th last year, but this year all the way down to 39th spot. And yet another tie for 37th spot, we have Griff and Mandy, each getting 143 votes. However, the big loser here would have to be Mandy, as last year she was 26, this year 38. Griff went from 55th last year all the way up to 37th, so that's a big jump for Griff. With 149 votes is Carl, who comes in 36th spot, and with 2 more votes than him, we have Janet beating out not only Carl, but also her little sister by a considerable margin. In 34th spot is a brawler who just got her hypercharge and has made her an actually really solid brawler, and that would be Belle. But above her, we have Otis with 158 total votes, and above Otis, he gets beaten out by a trash can who can't even play in the game right now because he's disabled. So, moving up 27 spots from last year, was in 58th last year. This year, she is number 31, and that would be Jessie, getting 165 votes, making a big leap upwards. And also, we have Gray. Last year, he was 33rd. This year, he's 30th. Slightly better. I still don't think you guys have done him right because, in my opinion, he's a very fun brawler to play. Probably my 3rd favorite brawler, but right above him in 29th spot, one of the most hated brawlers in the game is Tick. You guys may hate him, but there's also a lot of people who love him, although last year he was 13th, so he did take a step down from last year. Right above him, coming in 28th spot, is Daryl, who finished in the same spot as he did last year. Then we have a brawler moving up from 45th all the way into 27th spot, and that is Rico. Brock moved up 4 spots to claim number 26th, and Poco, who was 37th last year, is 25th on the list this year. Moving up 7 spots from last year, we have 8-Bit landing in the 24th spot. However, no brawler moved up more than our next one. Last year, he was next to last at 72nd place. This year, he has moved from 72nd all the way up to 23rd spot, and I don't know why, because this is a brawler I don't like to play, but apparently you guys really like Hank now. I don't know if this is just all the Spin LC supporters coming over and voting for him, or if Spin created 209 accounts and voted for him all himself. It's probably the latter of the two.
Like, at least I got some damage in. 1 and 3 is Colt.
Just beating him out is El Primo, coming in at 22nd spot, which is the same as he was last year. Then our next 3 brawlers are all brand new brawlers to this list. At 21st spot, we have Kit, getting 218 votes. Just barely beating him out is Melody. She gets 227 votes and comes into the top 20. And then at number 19, a brawler that only the pay-to-win people can play right now, that's Draco with 231 votes. He's got a cool personality. He's not like the greatest brawler, but he's a solid brawler, especially after his buffs, and he comes in at number 19. At number 18 is a brawler who just got her hypercharge, and it's a very good one, and that is Max, moving up from 43rd all the way to 18th. That's a big jump upwards, but going the opposite direction, we have Colette, who had just got her hypercharge last time, and she was wrecking high safes everywhere. This year, she falls from number 8 all the way down to number 17. But Colette isn't the only one in the top 20 who have fallen, because number 11 last year was Edgar. This year, he is number 16. And actually, I think that Edgar has really kind of grown on me. I mean, yes, in playing Power League, up through Diamond, it's an instantaneous. You know someone's going to lock him in instantly and be very bad with him. But he's kind of grown on me a little bit, and 294 of you consider him to be your favorite brawler. Now, 2 years ago, Chester was the number 1 most favorite brawler in the game. Last year, he fell to number 9, and this year, he has fallen even further down to 15th, although 15th is a pretty good spot for a brawler that isn't really all that great in the meta. He is fun, however, and his voice lines are amazing. However, moving the opposite direction, we have Sandy. Last year, he was 25th. This year, he is number 14th. He did get just like a crazy good hypercharge, and he's really good in the meta right now, too. So I can see why he's moved up 11 spots to claim number 14. Now, at number 13, moving up 5 spots is Dynamite, a brawler that I also find extremely fun to play. I mean, not that I'm any good with him. I'm not. He's just a fan favorite, and I get it. However, another fan favorite that I don't get, coming in at number 12, is BB. She was 14th last year. This year, she's 12th. Still a really great finish. I don't really like playing her that much, but I know a lot of you really love her. However, the next brawler, you guys also voted for her as one of the most annoying brawlers in the game. Yet still, at number 11, falling out of the top 10, last year she was number 10, we have Piper with 430 votes. So then that brings us to our top 10 most loved brawlers in Brawl Stars. At number 10, last year he was 7, this year he's 10, and that is Stu, and I totally understand this. Stu is a ton of fun to play. You zip, you dash, you zing around. Zing, I don't know if that's an actual verb, but I just used it as one. And so yeah, right above him is Buzz, coming in at 9, moving up from 12 last year into the top 10 for the first time with 435 votes. And speaking of moving up into the top 10, at number 8 we have Colt. Last year he was number 15, this year he is number 8. He's gotten a good hypercharge. He's a very strong brawler, and I think that a lot of people have really grown to love Colt. And if you can play him well, you can destroy people. However, he is a little bit harder to play, but it's really rewarding if you can play him well. That's why it's not very rewarding for me. Another brawler that takes a lot of skill to play is Mortis. He was number 7 last year, and this year he is in the exact same spot at number 7. Consistently, Mortis is a fan favorite, always in the top 10, and this year is no different. However, last year our number 1 brawler was Fang, and he is still in the top 10. However, he has fallen to number 6. Last year he had just gotten a hypercharge, and it was ridiculously broken and overpowered. Now it's just overpowered. It's not completely broken. So he falls to number 6, which kind of makes sense. Fang's a fun brawler to play, at least with his super, so I get it. Falling 2 spots from last year is Spike. He was in 3rd place last year. This year, he's number 5. Still an extremely good finish for a brawler that is always just generally, consistently very good in the game. There's almost never been a time when Spike wasn't at least a very solid brawler, and actually, now that I think about it, I blame Curveball for that. He's, yeah, in 5th place. You guys really like him. And another brawler that you guys also really like, moving up 1 spot from last year, is Leon. Leon, again, is always a fan favorite. He's an assassin. You can go invisible with him and just, you know, pop out and gank people, take them out. He's a ton of fun to play. I totally get it. Leon's a fun character, and he moves up 1 spot, just like our next brawler, Cordelius, has moved up 1 spot from number 4 last year to number 3. He raked in an impressive 598 votes, which securely locks down 3rd place. He's a very strong brawler. You get to take people into a cool shadow realm. You can leap over stuff. You can mute people. He's a lot of fun to play. I can see why a lot of people enjoy him as their most favorite brawler. So that leaves only 2 brawlers left. Neither one of these brawlers have ever won first place. We have Crow and we have Surge. Now last year, Crow was actually way better than he is right now. Right now, he's actually not very good in the game. He's very mediocre or below average. Surge, however, has just always been one of those brawlers that are a ton of fun to play. However, never really made it to the very tip top of this list. So with that being said, our number 1 brawler, the most loved brawler in Brawl Stars, the one that more people consider their favorite than any other one, I can finally say it. It's Surge. Crow's number 2. Congrats, Surge, I guess.
Awesome.
Maybe one of these times it will be Crow, but it's not this year. He still comes in number 2, which is actually pretty good for a brawler who's not very good, but anyway, Surge, number 1, 712 votes, beating Crow by almost 100 votes. Well done, Surge. You are the most loved brawler in Brawl Stars.